On behalf of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara, we now begin this ceremony of initiation. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhayabhyantara suchi. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Whether one is pure or not pure, or if, even while passing through all situations of life, one who remembers the beautiful lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead is purified both within and without. Krishna is Pavitra. He is supremely pure. And association with Krishna is supremely purifying. The nature of the true self, the jiva, is we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna tells in Gita, Mamaivam so jiva loke, jiva buddha sanatana, that all living beings are fragmental parts of himself. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described to Sri Rupa Goswami at Prayag that the dimension of the spirit soul is 1/10,000th the size of the tip of a single hair. That is inconceivable. In one sense, we may question if the spirit soul is perfectly spiritual, then how can we put a measurement on it? These are inconceivable subjects. But the principle that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is emphasizing is that we are insignificant. And yet, we have supreme unlimited significance. Simultaneously. Our significance is that we are qualitatively one with Krishna. And that we are connected with Krishna. Being connected with Krishna because Krishna is supremely attractive in all opulences, all powerful, the proprietor of everything, the knower of everything, the most beautiful, the most famous. Whatever fame anybody has in this world, it's just a spark of what Krishna is giving them to be famous about. Krishna is the supreme source and fullness of all renunciation. Krishna is all attractive. And anyone who is connected to Krishna has infinite significance. But we cannot have that connection to Krishna unless Sharanagati, unless we are surrendered to Krishna. And the consciousness by which we surrender is to feel ourselves insignificant. When we feel ourselves insignificant, then we open our hearts without the ego blocking the flow of grace. Then we can be celebrating Krishna's supreme glories. Krishna has descended in his name. In the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in discussion with Yamaraj and Yamadutas, serious discussion, Tasmad Sankirtanam Vishnur Jagan Mangalamanghasam, that the Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the names of Vishnu, is supremely auspicious. The most auspicious thing in all of the universe and all of creation. Namachintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasvigraha. The name of Krishna is none different than Krishna. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. The Supreme Truth has many names and has incarnated. Sri Radha and Krishna have made themselves accessible. They are manifesting their presence with all of their glories in the transcendental sound vibration of the holy names. And the Srimad Bhagavatam describes one of the reasons that we are concerned with to make the holy name of Krishna supremely auspicious throughout creation is it uproots sinful proclivities and corresponding sinful reactions. Kalera dosna nide rajan asti heko mahangana. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya mokta sangha param praje. We are all having so many difficulties in our life from time to time. And we see the difficulties in the world. And the nature of the soul, because we're perfect because we're part and parcel of the supreme perfection. So we want things to be perfect. It's very disturbing when things just are not. We want to be happy. That's why we're disturbed when we're not happy. We want to be successful, so we're disturbed when we're not. We want people to treat me and treat each other according to our desires. But adibodhika, it's just not going to happen. Every now and then it will. But whenever it does, it just it puts us more in the illusion that it could happen. But then it doesn't. It's the age of Kali. the predominant qualities of this age is quarrel and hypocrisy. It's a time where there's great anxieties. Why is there so much quarrel and hypocrisy? It's not just people acting. People are expressing what's in their minds, what's in their hearts. People are in anxiety. People are disturbed with greed and lust and envy and anger and arrogance and covered with illusion. And when these anarthas within are expressed without, what it does to the society and the world. So when we speak about Kali Yuga, we're speaking what is the mentality of people in this age and how it's polluting the entire environment. But Srimad Bhagavatam describes that the great sages who are compassionate for the happiness of everyone, paradukkha dukhi. A great sage is one who another's happiness is his or her happiness, and another's suffering is his or her suffering. And yet these sages, of all the 4 yugas, they worship Kali Yuga as the best. Why is that? Because ultimately, however prosperous and happy and peaceful people may be in this world, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam, we still have to grow old, get diseased, and die. Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartanoshana, from the highest planet. In Brahma Loka, it really doesn't matter whether it's Satya Yuga or Kali Yuga. I remember I was living in a winter place, covered with snow in the winter, ice, freezing winds, and it would be like that for 6-7 months continuously. Practically never saw the sun. And people were leaving that place to go to Hawaii. Because it's never winter there. The weather's always so nice. And we used to think it's a heavenly planet. But then recently we saw fires and volcanoes and so many miseries. So Brahmaloka is a place that is inconceivably heavenly and pleasing. But still it's a place of suffering. Because the same miseries of material existence are inevitable. So the sages worship Kali Yuga because the most merciful avatar, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, descends in this age of Kali and gives us this message that simply by chanting the names of Lord Hari, one can attain the supreme perfection of liberation. What a benediction this is. Not just liberation from suffering. Actually, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he instructed Rupa Goswami that mukti, the inconceivable happiness of being free of all sufferings, being free of death, old age, disease. Just existing in the effulgence of Krishna's light. That happiness is not even a drop compared to the ocean of happiness of prema, of love for God. In Vaikuntha, the spiritual planets, within the spiritual sky, everyone is eternally existing in this happiness of love of God. But of all the Vaikunthas, Goloka is where Krishna manifests the absolute fullness of his love and gives every devotee, every jiva, and every expansion the full manifestation of the potential of their love in the sweetest, most intimate forms. All the happiness, all the opulence of Vaikuntha, the heavens and everything is included in Krishna. So the benediction that Lord Chaitanya has given is not just the liberation and uprooting of sufferings. It's not only the bliss of love of God, but its entrance into Goloka. And Thakur Narottam, he prayed, Golokera Premadana, Harinam Sankirtana. This Sankirtan that Lord Chaitanya has brought to the world descended with him from Goloka Vrindavan. The highest, most intimate region of the spiritual world. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauda Dvishinama. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most beneficent, most merciful. He's giving a mercy even Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. His mercy is the complete full, and all other incarnations are included within Krishna. But yet Lord Chaitanya, Krishna is extending more mercy than himself. Radha Bhava Duti Supalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He comes with the Mahabhava of Sri Radha, the supreme abode of love. Krishna's Hladini Shakti. Krishna is the supreme object of love. He's all attractive. And he expands himself as his feminine counterpart, as Sri Radharani, who is the supreme abode of love. And they descend together in the one form of Lord Chaitanya. Krishna with the splendor and the prema of Sri Radha. Coming in the role of a devotee to not only give love of Godhead, but to personally demonstrate how to receive it. When Sri Radha Gopinath appeared 5,000 years ago in Sri Braj Bhumi, of course they're eternally residing there. They revealed to the world the supreme pastimes of love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us how to enter into those pastimes of love. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's teaching, Sarvadharman Parityaja, that we should abandon all varieties of dharma, surrender to him. Manmana bhava mad bhakto, by always remembering Krishna, becoming Krishna's devotee, worshipping Krishna and offering our homage to Krishna. Krishna tells, if you do these things, you will come to me without fail. And he gives his promise. But to surrender to Krishna means giving up all our selfishness, all our egoism, all of our attachments, all of our misconceptions. When we're living in a world where we're bombarded within and without at every moment through our own mind and through everything around, so many distractions. Lord Chaitanya comes in the role of a devotee to teach us how to surrender. Just remember Krishna by chanting his holy names, in the mood of a servant of the servant. Live a pure life for Krishna's pleasure. Such a gift. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the prime benediction, the most auspicious of all auspiciousness, is the chanting of the holy names. Now, because there's so much inauspiciousness in this world, we do many things to try to invoke auspiciousness. And we try to calculate what is auspicious and what is inauspicious. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us something that is so deep. Where there is light, there's no darkness. When we surrender with absorption to take shelter of Krishna's holy names, Krishna manifests. And Krishna's all light, all auspicious, all love, and all mercy. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma, he describes how the ability of Durga to control this whole external energy of the universe is given by the power of Govinda. The sun that gives all light and life to all beings within this universe is just a manifestation of the rays of Krishna compared to Krishna's eye. And as far as Shiva means auspicious, and part of his auspiciousness is he destroys everything. That's auspicious. Lord Govinda takes the form of Shiva to perform these auspicious, all-powerful activities. And throughout Maharashtra, people are worshiping Ganesh to remove obstacles to an auspicious life. And Lord Brahma tells us, because he sees, Ganesh is holding the lotus feet of Govinda on his tusks. And that is where he gets the power to remove obstacles. The gopis of Vrindavan, they are the purest of unmotivated, uninterrupted, loving devotees. In the highest ecstasies of Brajras, Premras. They worship Katyayani, Durga, so that they could marry Krishna and serve Krishna and love Krishna. And there's a place on bank of Yamuna, some of you have been there, where there's a temple of Ganesh, Ganapati. It's on a little hill near the river Yamuna. And at that place, the gopis would worship this deity of Ganesh to remove obstacles in being with Krishna and pleasing Krishna and loving Krishna and surrendering their body, mind, words, life to Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that in our sampradaya, sannyas means, now sannyas is usually considered a very male type of a consciousness. But sannyas means to offer one's body, minds, words, and life for the pleasure of Krishna by taking shelter of the gopis. That was how he inspired our parampara. So the gopis were worshipping Ganesh to remove obstacles in their loving service to Krishna. And they worshipped with so much desire to please Krishna that whenever they'd perform their puja, Krishna would manifest himself in the deity of Ganesh to receive their devotion. So is the deity Ganesh or Krishna? It's Krishna. Receiving through his devotee Ganesh. Similarly in Jagannath Puri, after Snan Yatra, Lord Jagannath takes on the form of Ganesh. Have you seen? Is that Ganesh or is that Jagannath? It's Ganesh and it's Jagannath. Just as we are part and parcel, we are Krishna, but at the same time we're an insignificant servant of Krishna. Similarly, all of the devatas and all the demigods are intimate, loving associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, being empowered by Him. Supremely auspicious means the opportunity to remember Krishna by serving Krishna, by pleasing Krishna. And in this consciousness, remembering Him. In all the Vedic literatures, there's basically two principles that everything is meant to bring us to realize. To always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. But not like Kamsa, or Ravana, or Hiranyakashipu. Samsiddhiradi doshanam, for Krishna's pleasure. Ashlisya vapadiratam panashtumam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us the goal we should aspire for. If you like Krishna, you could trample on me. You could embrace me. Or you could break my heart by not being present before me. Whatever is your desire, I am your servant unconditionally. Thakur Bhakti Vinod prayed, Marobi Rakobi Jo Icha Tohar. Krishna, you can kill me or you can protect me. I'm your eternal servant. This is our aspiration. Trinadapi Sunichena Taror Ibaseheshnana. Amani Namana Dena Kirtaniya Sadari. We aspire to chant the holy names of the Lord in this way, feeling ourselves more humble than a blade of grass, with the tolerance of a tree, open and eager to offer all respect to others and not expect for oneself. This is the Sankirtan that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. These are the qualities when he took the role of a devotee, and all of his devotees, his eternal associates from the spiritual world, personified out of their supreme mercy to teach us. As we're passing through the inevitable stages of birth, old age, disease, and death, let us be grateful and united as a community to assist Lord Chaitanya and the Acharyas in sharing this message with all the world. The chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Today you are making sincere commitments and promises to follow this path, to receive this mercy. Srila Prabhupada is our founder, Acharya. His love for Krishna, his example of service to his spiritual master, is the foundational principle that we all aspire to assist him. Who can imagine? He received an instruction that nobody's ever done in history, to take Lord Chaitanya's message in the English language all over the world. Actually, some of the greatest, most renowned scholarly devotees tried it. And they did something wonderful, but it was just a little. London, little Germany, but hardly. It's glorious, but to spread Lord Chaitanya's teachings and mercy all over the world, the Sankirtan movement. 43 years later, after receiving that instruction, he left Vrindavan, the residence of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, to go to the West. His first stop was Mumbai, to beg, literally beg and fast for a very wealthy, devoted lady, Sumati Maraji, to give him a passage on a cargo ship. This is a very historical place, Mumbai. She said, Swamiji, you will not be successful if you go there. It's too difficult. I have been there. You are very old, you are not well, and the people there are so materialistic, and the weather is so cold. You will die. I cannot. Out of her motherly affection for Srila Prabhupada, or daughterly affection, whatever it may have been, she would not give him the ticket. But she saw that Srila Prabhupada was begging for the opportunity to even die to carry out the order of his spiritual master. And sure enough, within the first week or so, he had heart attacks and seasickness. And when he came to America, there was no success. He had no followers for almost a year. He was just struggling alone. Just last week I was in Delhi. It was the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who we offer millions of obeisances at his lotus feet. He took Srila Prabhupada's spirit and his instructions as his life and soul. You know, one of the numerous glorious things that Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami has done, besides he distributed more books than anyone in history of Srila Prabhupada's, developed more temples, distributed more plates of prasadam. He was one of the very first to go and establish Srila Prabhupada's mission in Russia. He built temples in Africa. It's inconceivable, his service. But one of the things, among the 18 magnificent temples he built in Delhi alone, he procured Srila Prabhupada's, the rooms he lived in Chippiwada. How many people have been to Chippiwada? I'm so enthusiastic about this, I forgot there's an initiation. Forgive me. It's in the Chandni Chowk district of Old Delhi, which is really crowded and really crowded. And I think it was even more at the time of Srila Prabhupada. There's just these little alleyways. And when Srila Prabhupada came to Delhi to print his Back to Godhead and to try to get, the facilities to get paper for the Srimad Bhagavatam, he had no help, he had no money, he had no place to live. He lived with some God brothers at one time, but then he couldn't stay there any longer. So he was literally homeless. And one person saw just how serious and how steadfast he was to carry out the order of his guru. He gave him a room in this little temple of Sri Radha Ballabha. It's These Radha Vallabh deities, they've been there for well over 100 years. And just above the temple room, there was a little room. And Srila Prabhupada stayed there. So I visited there for the first time. And actually Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and his beloved followers, they actually procured that property and made the Radha Vallabha temple. It's small and it's in the middle of this very crowded neighborhood. On a little alleyway. You can't drive there. You have to walk quite a distance through these little lanes. And renovated Srila Prabhupada's rooms in ways that preserved the way it was when he was there. And while I was there, along with Shrutakirti Prabhu, we were reading from Srila Prabhupada, Lilamrita, about when Prabhupada was living in Delhi at that time. And I think the name of the chapter was something like, just like all alone in the wilderness. He was getting heat stroke, he was being attacked by cows and bulls, and nothing could stop. Yes, how grateful we should be. And what he has given us. Bhagavad Gita. He's given us Srimad Bhagavatam. He's given us Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, Antya Lila. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Actually, when Srila Prabhupada was in New York in 1966 at 26 2nd Avenue, he was giving lectures on the teachings that Lord Chaitanya gave to Sanatana Goswami and the conversations with Srila Ramananda Rai. What Srila Prabhupada had come to give us. What Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered him to distribute to the world through hearing about Krishna, associating with devotees of Krishna, and chanting the holy names of Krishna. So today is a day when we're making a very formal, in both spirit and form, a commitment. Srila Prabhupada, as the servant of your servants, I am going to assist in this mission by receiving what you have given. And as part of a community, the community he created, to share it with the world. And through Srila Prabhupada, we learn about all the great acharyas of our parampara. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji. And then we read the histories of so many of the acharyas and great Vaishnavas, Baladeva Jabhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the 6 Goswamis, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own personal associates. So please honor and help. Let us always be helping each other and inspiring one another in all situations to remember our good fortune. On this day, I'm especially offering my gratitude to all of the counselors and mentors and Shiksha Gurus. Is there any other names you all have? Because within our movement, the Diksha Gurus, the Shiksha Gurus, the counselors, the pujaris, the fathers and mothers and the husbands and the wives and the cooks, everyone, we are all together to assist Srila Prabhupada according to our particular roles. And that is where we will find the perfection. And I'm very seriously grateful to each of you. In this troubled world, where there's so many alternatives of what to value in your life, you are coming together to declare and commit yourself to make the mercy of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath your ultimate value in life to strive for, to live for. I pray that Srila Prabhupada, all of our beloved Acharyas, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath, Nitai Gaura Chandra Gopal, shower their blessings, their mercy, and their grace upon you. Hare Krishna.